3 years ago I took a big risk and bought an old builder's van for just £6,000 and decided I wanted to convert it into my dream camper van with literally zero building experience.
Have I put this on the wrong way around?
After countless hours of hard work, sweat and a fair share of mistakes,
oh my god!
I finally converted it into a pretty decent camper van. However, in the last 2 weeks, I decided to tear some of the old features out and give the interior a much needed upgrade and finally build and finish my dream camper van.
It is the simple pleasures in life.
And after all of this, I still had one big decision to make. Am I going to keep my beloved camper van called Mary or let her go to someone else?
So today there is just a handful, he finally says, of jobs that I want to get done to this van to make the interior 100% complete and finished. A few of those jobs involve unblocking the waste tank because that's completely blocked, adding some shoe storage, an office table, installing a fly net, installing a gas locker, finishing off the bed trim, sorting out the garage, and that job's for a future day. If you watched the last video, you'll know that I've made a decent amount of progress, and as I've realised after getting back and actually doing a bit of DIY on the van, everything just takes 100 times longer than you ever expect it to. So this is the current stage of the van. In the last video I upgraded the seat covers. I actually really prefer the grey colour because it adds a nice bit of contrast. In the cupboard here we've added some storage which just tidies that up. Also got a nice LED light in there. We've got a nice fancy spice rack just to make it a little bit bougie in here. The other thing that I've actually done this morning is finally add a lock onto my sliding table. There's loads of other little jobs that I did in the last video, so if you haven't checked that out, go and watch that one. But today there's one thing that I want to focus on, and that job is gonna be to install somehow a little lagoon leg with an office table. Honestly, the longest time I've always wanted to have a nice little easy desk which I can take in, take out, and I can sit on the passenger chair, put my feet up and do a bit of work. So that's going to be the first job that I'm going to attempt to get done. I think everybody must wonder, Will, why are you always topless? Honestly, I'm always topless in life in general, and it's so bloody hot in this workshop. So here we have a lagoon leg, which I think I bought on Amazon well over 2 years ago now, with every intention of installing this, and it just hasn't happened. So today hopefully will be the day. How it works is you've got a leg here that needs to be mounted somewhere with this, and then this clips in here, and then your table is able to swivel in and out. And I also need to make a table, fix it onto this base here. Pretty simple. It's just trying to find a place where the hell I can install this and actually fix it properly. I think I'm going to try something which I've not seen anybody else do before, and I'm just going to fix this straight into the side of the van. If I mount it here, I know that looks way too high, but don't worry, you can move the leg around so you can adjust the height of it. A lot of people I've seen in the past, they kind of build a little box, they put a piece of wood there. I think mounting it there on a slight angle is going to be the best, easiest and most seamless way for this to work, but only time will tell. So let's just get 6 self-tapping screws and drill this straight into here. Oh, I'm scared. I don't want to drill into the van again. I thought all of those days were behind me. Let's just go for this and see what's what. Flipping heck, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Look at that. I mean, I could even test this out. Let me put one more screw in. Wow, that's so strong as it is. See if I can put this back on. That's not bad, you know, because it's quite hidden. Hold on a second, here we go. This should still go on here. Okay, tightening this up is the hard part. Once I tighten this in position, I can just leave that there. In my opinion, that doesn't need to... Oh, fuck. Oh, God. I thought it was all going far too well. I mean, is that all right? Let's just test it. Like that, that's not going anywhere. That's not bad, you know, at all. Oh shit, no, there is a problem. When I try and move the table, you know, in and out, it's gonna hit the pillar of the van. If I cut the end of this bracket off, or whatever you want to call it, that would shorten it, which means I would have more length to move it. The only other thing I can think of is bring that out a little bit. If I brought this out an inch or so with some batten or something, maybe that would give this more space to at least swivel. Okay, this is just a test, my theory. Ah, this ain't gonna work. It is gonna work if I did it properly, so let's do it properly, shall we? Okay, that's good. Okay, so hopefully you can understand what I'm attempting to do. I'm just spacing that off to now see when I put this back in, do I now have the room to be able to turn the table? Does the theory turn into reality? I think it does. Oh, it does. It does. Theory turns to reality. I'm an absolute genius, some may say, and some would say completely opposite. Pretend said table was on here, which again I can adjust the width of the table, so the table could be here. This could turn kind of completely out the way. Oh god, and it's falling off. The theory works. Time to try and turn that into reality and actually make this look relatively pretty. Let's do it.
So to turn this into a beautiful masterpiece, I grabbed a fresh piece of ply, cut it to the same dimensions as the bracket, then I got my trusty spray glue and grey carpet and covered it all to give it a nice clean look. And then all I had to do was just screw it back onto the pillar of the van.
Shit, I should have brought my screws over a little bit more. Let's try on the angle. I'm now going to screw this on just with some general wood screws, but I'm going to need to put some washers in there just to bulk it up a bit. What do I need? That ain't going anywhere. Not sure about how it looks here on the door seal, but I might cut that. But let's just test it out, see how it actually works. Solid as a rock. Now my table leg will sit on here. That is perfect. It can't go wider than that, but that's purely because of the handle. But I can't see myself being affected by that at all. How do I stop this turning here then? I don't know why that's still swiveling around. Maybe it just needs to tighten up, but that is honestly perfect. If I ever wanted to drop this down a little bit, the only thing left to do is to make a little table to screw onto the bottom of this. That is honestly so strong as well. So what we've got here is our piece of grey carpeted ply screwed directly into the metal pillar of the van, and then this bracket here screwed directly into the ply, and then of course this leg just slots straight in here, tightens up and down like that, so you can adjust the actual height of it. And because I've actually spaced it out by about the thickness of that ply, if you look here, I don't touch the pillar with this section here, with the back of this rail. That is fantastic. Let's do the next step and get this 100% finished. So here I've got my old pine sliding table, and I never threw it away because I thought, you know what, I'm sure this will come in handy at some point. So this is what is going to be the little office desk. So I just need to work out the measurements that I need and cut this to size, and then we should be good.
So I gave it a bit of a sand down just to freshen it all up, then I grabbed some Osmo wood oil and applied that on both sides and the edges, and then I needed to leave it for a few hours to dry.
So it's another absolutely scorching day in the UK. Honestly, inside this workshop I am just melting every second of my life away. But how on earth does 10 brand new and exclusive beers from some of the best breweries in Asia sound to you? Well, that's exactly what my good friends over at Beer 52 are offering you. So all you have to do to get this delicious pyramid of Asian beers is simply go to www.beer52.com/will and literally just cover just £5.95, the postage fee, to receive 10 new beers that you literally won't find anywhere else in the world. This month, as you can hopefully see, they're celebrating some of the best Asian beers out there. So I'm going to go for this Taiwanese beer because I've never had a Taiwanese, is that what you would say? I've never had a beer from Taiwan anyway, and I just love the way it looks. It's also got written on it here, ugly half beer. Definitely getting uglier, balder and fatter with my old age. Is there anything more satisfying than that noise? Right, Will, let's see if we can pour a better beer than I did last time. Tilt the glass. Oh dear God. I still cannot pour a beer properly. That is absolutely shocking. Over the last few months of being in Germany and drinking a lot of beer out there, I'm looking forward to this one because it just smells a little bit more flavoursome. Oh, that is lovely. Inside the case of free beers, you also get some snacks. Last time I had some little poppadom bites, which were unbelievable. And right now we've got some crunchy, sweet chili peas. If you're really into your beers and you're a bit of a beer connoisseur, shall we say, you can also learn about all of the fantastic breweries featured in this case with the award-winning Ferment magazine. Even after all of that, if you're still not satisfied with your free snacks, your free 10 beers, all you have to do is pay for postage. You can actually pause or cancel the subscription to Beer 52 at any time. So if you want to get a taste just like this, explore some very unique, different beers which you honestly cannot get anywhere else in the UK, make sure to head to www.beer52.com/will. That's BEER52.com/will to claim your free case of insanely wonderful, cultural, different beers. I'm going to finish this beer off. Cheers to all of you, and then let's crack on with the rest of the work.
To get this table finished off, I just needed to simply screw on the mounting bracket with 6 screws.
This is it, the moment of truth. The office table, does it work? Here we go. Oh my god, I have a table. Here we go. Sorry, that was so weird. Oh my god, I actually have a desk. Kind of. It would probably work a little bit better if I had a thicker piece of wood. But to be honest with you, I just had this lying around. It was from the old sliding table. I didn't want it to go to waste. This is perfect. Wow, look at that. So it can slide all the way there. I can then move it around as I please. However, most of the time, it's going to be exactly like that. Bear with me a sec. We've got to fully test this out. Here we go. This is perfect. Oh my god! I can't tell you genuinely how long I've waited to do this. I don't know why it's taken me 2 years. It's the perfect height as well. And if I wanted to adjust it, let's say Evie was sat here and she's a little bit shorter, you could lower the height and then tighten it back up. Oh god, now I'm stuck. Come back up. Oh. Let me just move my laptop so I don't break that. So you will or should be able to move the height of it. I just need to play around with all of this and familiarise myself with exactly how this lagoon leg works, because it works in different ways. My point is that if you want to adjust the height, you can. This can also be used as another dining table. Just imagine I've got my chicken fajitas in a bowl, my little stealth mode mug. Oh, this is going to be so good. I'm going to put a TV up there as well. This is the best thing I've done to the van. It has completely changed the space in here now. I'm absolutely chuffed with how this has come out.
With the office table now done, I could crack on with the next job, which was to re-add the bed trim. Which meant bringing back out my very fancy and new nail gun, which I was still figuring out exactly how it works, as it was being a little bit temperamental.
Oh, for f***'s sake. Okay, we have liftoff. Me and a nail gun should not really be allowed, but I've got to admit, it's my new favourite tool. Pretty damn cool, if I do say so myself. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. It ain't perfect, but neither am I. So the next job on the list is a job that I've, again, should have done about 2 years ago, but a job that I haven't 100% decided whether I'm going to do it or whether I'm not going to do it. A bunch of you guys on Instagram said that I should install it, and that is a fly net for the sliding door. Reason being is pretty obvious. When you're parked up somewhere and you have your sliding door open like I've got it now, and you're cooking away inside, you've got the lights on, all of the insects come straight inside the van. And I do have a fly net right here from a company called Webnet. I've just never found the time to install it, and I have always wondered, is it something that I'm actually going to use regularly or not, which is the reason why I wasn't sure whether to install it. Pretty simple, a zip down the middle, one zip on my left hand side, another zip on the right hand side, and how it works is you basically take off the seal of the van just like that, and I've got these little clips which I'm then going to basically clip it up to in here, smack them in place, put the seal back on, and then Bob's your Uncle Fanny's your aunt. Should be hopefully as simple as that. Fucking hell. Ah! I think it will be a good decision to actually install it. Let's get it in.
So I can't lie that trying to install this was a little bit frustrating. As I was finding that I needed about 20 arms and legs to try and hold up each different part of the net.
Damn it.
Every time I would bang in a new clip, the old clip would fall out and then the whole thing would fall down.
Fucking hell.
The issue that I was having was that every time I was trying to fix one section into place, another section would just come loose and I would have to start again, which seriously started to test my patience.
Oh, wow.
Another problem I was having was my OCD. I wanted to try and make this look as neat and tidy as I possibly could, so I wanted the net as square to the van as I could get it.
Straight as straight can be, I would say.
So the more I tried to play around with it and adjust certain parts, the more it kept falling down.
I've probably lost half the clips now.
I tried a few different things like clamping the rubber door seal in place, but that didn't work.
Oh, shit.
I then tried to roll up the fly net thinking that might be an easier way to install it, but that also didn't work.
It would be a lot easier, I think, with 2 people. Right, I'm sacking this off for tonight because my head is completely gone. I'm finding it extremely frustrating, so hopefully tomorrow with a clear mind, a new day, I can get this done. See you tomorrow. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm back with a fresh mind, a fresh soul, and hopefully a little bit more patience today. First of all, let me show you how this is actually meant to be installed. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good. New energy, new life. How the net installs is actually quite simple. You basically, as you've seen already within this video, I'm sure, you take off the trim, and if you imagine that this cloth here is the fabric of my netting, you put it onto the edge of the sliding door and you basically pinch it in. You put those tiny little metal clips that I've got in to hold it in place, and then you just bang in the seal back into place, and the seal and the metal clips all hold it in place. The problem is that trying to do this with 2 hands and only 1 person, it's pretty difficult. So if there's any sexy assistants out there, male or female, that want to come and help me, let me know. So today I don't exactly have a new plan or strategy. However, I've got some magnets which I've just had laying around, and I figured these will be a much easier way, hopefully, to hold the fabric against the inside of the door, so that I can then bang it in and then put the trim on. I did have a few suggestions on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, by the way, make sure you go and do that, at Will's Whereabouts, because you kind of see live, up-to-date things of what's going on, well, in my life and on the van build and all of that stuff. And I always ask a bunch of questions because I know there's a lot of people out there that have so much more advice and knowledge than me, and I love to learn from people. Okay, my friend, I need to get a few magnets in. Okay. Deep breaths, Will. Deep breaths. I wonder if it's better to start from the floor. That's what I was dreaming about last night. How the hell to install this fly net?
With one last final attempt at this, using a combination of clamps, magnets and the clips,
oh no! Don't fall on me now, ducky.
it slowly started to come together.
I've kind of done it, but I'm not 100% totally sold on this installation method. It's just relying on the seal of the door to hold it in. I can't get this seal to stay nice and tight around this corner here. The thing is, I mean, it's actually in, and I could really see the benefit of it because I'm parked up somewhere and there's insects and bugs everywhere. I'd just climb in and then I'd be here and I could have the sliding door open and it would actually work quite well. Apparently, not even the midgies in Scotland will get through this because they're absolutely tiny. But the thing is, how often do I go to Scotland? Not very often, but it's going to be a nice thing to have when I need it. How does it look when I want to roll it up? That's my main thought, because I want it to look neat and tidy. See, I don't like that now. It blocks my view, looking out. It doesn't look neat or tidy. If there was a way to lift it higher, but the problem is I can't lift it any higher, because then that means there's going to be a gap on the floor. Who knew a fly net would be rattling my brain so much? And I think it also makes the van feel a little bit smaller. But I can see the benefit of the product. Maybe I've installed it wrong. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down, and if there's anybody out there that thinks they can help with this, please let me know. Send me a message on Instagram at Will's Whereabouts. We might need some sewing skills, a bit of innovative creativity, because my brain right now with the current skills that I've got, I can't quite think the best way to do this. I do like the product. I want to install it definitely, but I just want to install it in a nice, neat fashion. So, unfortunately, I'm going to take this down and then we'll move on to the next job. The next job on the list, again, one I've been delaying for a long, long time, and there's good reason for that, because it's going to absolutely stink. unblock the waste tank. First things first, get the van out of here. So why do I need to unblock the waste tank, you ask? Well, let me show you. This level on the left hand side is the level of the water. This on the right hand side, where the red light is telling me that the waste tank is completely full. So my waste tank is blocked. So I've got the really fun part of getting underneath the van and trying to unblock it. It's gonna stink, this. I'm probably not making this easy for myself, because I probably could jack up the van to give me a bit more height, but I can't even bother to muck about with all that stuff. Boy, it already stinks. So here's what's going on. In front of me here is my waste tank, and then this white pipe here goes all the way over there and runs up to my kitchen. So when I've got the tap on, all of the water drains through that pipe, comes over here and goes into my waste tank. Then when I want to empty the waste tank, I normally just turn that little lever here to open, and the water drains out. That tank currently is full because the light is telling me. So this pipe that runs from here must be blocked. Wow. Oh my God, look at the colour of that. That is all food and just disgusting stuff. This pipe is not blocked. Look at the state of that in there. That is absolutely vile. Okay, that's out. That's good. So this pipe is definitely blocked. Has to be. Oh, maybe not. Oh my God, it stinks. Imagine rotten egg mixed in with more rotten egg. It fucking stinks. Oh my God. What I need to undo is this here. I don't know if you can see that. This here, hopefully, should drain. Oh no! I can't believe I'm going to say this, because I really don't want to do it, but I think I'm going to have to take down the whole waste tank, clean it out, do it properly, completely unblock it. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that. What I'll do is wait for it all to drain out as much as possible, take it for a little spin on the farm just to give some water to the soil, and then we'll take it back inside, jack it up and get that waste tank down. So I think I've found my first problem. The inside of here, which you won't be able to see, is blocked, which is why no water is draining out of it. Oh, what was that? Probably a bit of chicken fajita. You don't want to know what came out of here. Have a look in there. Everything just needs a good clean.
So I ended up not having to take the whole waste tank down, and instead I was able to unblock it just by going back under the van and poking around, and also flushing the whole system through with some waste tank cleaner.
My God, we are getting so close to getting everything ticked off and done. Literally 2 more jobs that I want to do in this video, and this one we're going to save for a rainy day, because there's potentially something very exciting happening with that. Next job on the list, shoe storage. I want to turn this little storage unit here, which has my brand new fancy cushion on. I have also velcroed it to the bottom of the base. Ooh. Anyway, this is also a storage unit as well as a bench seat, which is great, happy days. But in the past I've just chucked a bunch of stuff in there, and it's a bit of a pain in the arse to get to it. So instead of collecting a bunch of shoes, walking boots, sandals here, which is exactly what happens when I go out in the van, I'm going to take this out, cut a hole in it, put a shelf in, and hopefully Bob's your uncle, fannies your aunt, shoe storage is done. Very simple, no mucking about, let's do it.
After I'd removed the front piece of wood, I grabbed myself a piece of 12mm ply and cut it to the inside dimensions of the bench to create a little bit of a divider. Then, as always, just to tidy it up, I got the spray adhesive glue and carpeted it the entire way around so that from both sides of the bench it would look exactly the same.
Have a look at this really new fancy trick that I learnt yesterday from my local carpenter friend next door. This is an absolute game changer. I've set my square to 60 or 600. I'm going to mark out the square that I want to cut to actually put my shoes in. So if I hold my pencil here and move it along, oh my God, have a look at that. That is a thing of beauty. How have I just learnt this? So I can go around all of the edges and get exactly the same distance. What a trick this is. This is so good. In the past, I would have got my tape measure, measured from here to here, got my tape measure again, measured from here to here, then measured a third time at length, and then got a level and just joined it all up. But this is just so much quicker. This is why I love asking people for help, because you just learn all of these little tricks and stuff that I would have never ever known before, and it just speeds the whole process up.
Now with my fancy new square all drawn out, I drilled a hole in one of the corners so I could get the jigsaw inside. And then I think I must have got heat stroke because I made a big mistake.
Oh, you idiot. Now I know why I drilled those holes in, to put my jigsaw in and cut the inside, but I've just cut the outside. Don't do as I do, and definitely do not do as I say.
So I honestly have no idea why I cut from the outside edge, even when I drilled holes for the exact purpose of cutting from the inside. But that wasn't the only mistake.
I've started to cut on the line and it's gone way off. Today's just not going well.
Anyway, I couldn't think of any other way to cut the inside of this out, so I just had to take it nice and slow with the jigsaw and try and use my left hand as a guide to cut as straight as possible.
Well, that doesn't look good, does it? So there is no denying that this really hasn't gone to plan. Because I've cut that, that doesn't look great. And this is not perfectly straight. I like the concept, I just don't like the result. So what can I do about that, Will? I think I might have some bedroom edging left over. Is there a way that... Oh, that could look quite pretty, quite sexy, if I do say so myself. The only issue is I've only got 2 pieces left, which isn't enough. I'm going to have a little brainstorm. When I say have a brainstorm, I'm going to ask Kai, my new chippy mate. He taught me that trick with the old ruler. Now I'm going to say, Kai, what can I do to kind of make this look pretty? They're going to hate me by the end of it. Right, all is not lost. I went to Wickes to hopefully go and buy some hardwood oak. They didn't have any of this, so I just went and bought some pine, which is a slightly different colour, and that looks bloody fantastic. All I need to do now is staple gun it in, give it a bit of a sand down, and that's going to be pucker. Right, let's try that again. Okay, nail gun's going to work. Fucking hell, why is it not working? Does anybody know why this nail gun is doing this? We've got a full battery. Whoa, I don't know what's going on with this nail gun, I really don't. Perhaps doesn't look the best with the nails in it, but it sure still looks goddamn good.
Now with my beautiful framing all done, I could finish this all off by cutting another piece of ply and carpeting it just to make the actual shelf where the shoes would sit on. Then I just had to grab some black wood connectors and screwed these into the side so that my shelf would have something to sit on and also to screw into.
Beautiful. I know you can't go level because the van isn't level, the ground isn't level, and my piece of wood here is bowed. Just to give me a kind of rough understanding, that's not bad at all. Slightly out, but like I say, there's many variables to all of this. So now I can just screw this underneath and then that's done. How am I going to do this? Why is the last one being a bastard? Ladies and gentlemen, the shoe storage is now finished. Oh no, my shoes are really muddy. Let me take my shoes off at the door, put them in there, and then grab my slippers, which I don't have. That is a thing of beauty. Once I tick this off, there are just 2 jobs left to do: apply and board the garage and install a gas locker. So this is the current state of the garage. Nothing wrong with it, a very good, useful space. However, as always, it could be a little bit more organised. I'm not going to film this entire process because, to be honest with you, I'm completely bored of filming everything that I'm doing, and I'm pretty sure that you're probably bored of watching me do these upgrades. So hopefully in 3, 2, 1, this should all be done. A few hours later, and we have a very slightly upgraded and modified garage. I'll be honest with you, I had every intention of completely boarding all of this off. However, I realised I'm going to need access to a lot of this stuff in the future, so I decided not to go too mental with it. So one thing that I did do to the garage was install a gas locker, which, if I undo this, is now my gas tank, which is 100 times neater, tidier and more safe than how it was before. This is fixed into the floor, so that's going absolutely nowhere. For the rest of the garage, to be honest with you, I kind of kept it very similar to how it was in the past. I built a very basic kind of little shelf here just to protect the battery from having stuff just plonked on top of it. And this is the biggest pain in the arse ever, because what I really need to get is a rear wheel carrier for the back doors of my van, and because I just think it gives it that nice sexy overlander look, and of course it's going to free up a hell of a lot of space in my garage. I'm struggling to find any companies, brands, people that actually build rear wheel carriers for a Fiat Ducato van. So if anybody knows any companies out there that do them, please let me know. I can't believe it, this feels official now. Gas locker done, crossed out, ply and board the garage, done and crossed out. I genuinely think the interior of this van now might be completely finished. It's never really finished, but I'm done making videos on this van now. I can't believe it. Mary is done. I'm saying she's done, but let's be honest. Vans, van builds, houses, whatever projects are never done. There's always going to be things that I want to add and change, but I am over the moon, to be honest with you, with how this van looks right now. Everything is just so much more practical, organised, efficient, whatever you want to call it. And I'm so glad that I've taken the time to make these small little adjustments and changes. And as I keep reiterating, the only way that I've known what works, what doesn't work, the things I want to add, is from using the van. And now, I would like to say, I feel back in love with Mary. There might be a few other things that I want to do, like actually get this fly net installed. I do want to get the van wrapped or painted. I want to, of course, get a rear wheel carrier, but all of that, to be honest with you, is going to be when the time comes, and I don't know if I'm going to make videos on it. For right now, I think the only thing left to do is to actually go for a camp out in this van and test all of these things that I've upgraded and changed in here. So as always, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure to give the video a like, make sure to subscribe, and as always, I will catch you in next week's video where we are going to be going back out in Mary for a very basic, simple camp out, but it is going to be good fun just to get back out in the van, back out into nature, and test out all the upgrades. See you next week.